Greetings. Welcome to Wonderful Wednesday. It's another day of story time with Dr. Helen Tinsley, and I'm happy to be here with you, sharing stories again. So I hope all is well and everybody's making the best of their situation at this time. And so let's begin. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine in the stories that I read every day. Welcome. So our story today is entitled Homeplace, and the author is Crescent Dragonwagon, and it's illustrated by Jerry Pinkney. Now, I've already read you a few stories by Jerry Pinkney, and I always say to look carefully at his illustrations because he's a beautiful watercolor artist. Homeplace. Every year, these daffodils come up. There is no house near them. There is nobody to water them, unless someone happens to come this way, like us, this Sunday afternoon just walking. There's not even anyone to see them, but still they come up, these daffodils in a row, a yellow splash, brighter than sunlight or lamplight or butter, in the green and shadow of the woods. Still they come up, these daffodils, cups lifted to trumpet the good news of spring. Though no one hears except the wind and the raccoons who rustle at night, and the deer who nibble delicately at the new green growth, and the squirrels who jump from branch to branch of the old black walnut tree. But once someone lived here. How can you tell? Look, a chimney made of stone, back there half standing. Yet, though honeysuckles grown around it, there must have been a house here. Look, push aside these weeds. Here's a stone foundation laid on earth. The house once here was built on it. And if there was a house, there was a family. Dig in the dirt, scratch deep, and what do you find? A round blue glass marble, a nail, a horseshoe, and a piece of plate, a small yellow bottle, a china doll's arm. Listen, can you listen back, far back? No, not the when, that's now, but listen back and hear. A man's voice, scratchy sweet, singing, Amazing Grace. A rocking chair squeaking, creaking on a porch. The bubbling hot fat in a black skillet. The chicken frying. And Tommy, get in here this minute. If I have to call you one more time. And, me, it's hot. And reckon it'll storm? I don't know. I sure hope we sure could use it. And supper time. If you look, you can almost see them. The boy at dusk scratching in the dirt with his stick, the uneven swing hanging vacant in the black walnut tree, listless in the heat, the girl upstairs combing out her long, long hair, unpinning, unbraiding, and combing by an oval mirror. Downstairs, Papa washing dishes as Mama sweeps the floor, and Uncle Ferd, Mama's brother, coming in, whistling, back from shutting up the chickens for the night, wiping the sweat from his forehead. Ah, Lord, it's hot. even late as it is. Surely it was. Someone swats at a mosquito. Bedtime. But in that far back summer night, the swing begins to sway as the wind comes up, as the rain comes down. There's thunder, there's lightning. That's just like now. The dry, dusty earth soaks up the water. The roots of the plants, like the daffodil bulbs the mama planted, hidden under the earth but alive and growing. The roots drink it up. A small green snake coils happily in the wet woods. And Timmy sleeps straight through the storm. Anne, the girl who wishes for a yellow hair ribbon, wakes and then returns to sleep like Uncle Ferd, sighing as he dreams of walking down a long road with change in his pocket. But the mother wakes and wakes the father, her husband, and they sit on the side of the bed and watch the rain together, without saying a word, in the house where everyone else still sleeps. Her head on Papa's shoulder, her long hair falling down her back. She's wearing a white nightgown that makes her look almost like a ghost when the lightning flashes. And now she is a ghost, and we can only see her if we try. We're not sure if we're making her up or if we really can see her, imagining the home place as it might have been or was before the house burned down or everyone moved away and the woods moved in. Her son and daughter grown and gone, her brother who went to Chicago, her husband, even her grandchildren, even her house, all gone, almost as gone as if they had never laughed and eaten chicken and rocked, played and fought and made up, combed hair and washed dishes and swept, sang and scratched at mosquito bites, almost as gone, but not quite. Not quite. They were here. This was their home. And that's the end. Oh, I'm sorry. For each year, I thought it was the end. I'm sorry. For each year in a quiet green place where there's only a honeysuckle vine chimney to tell you there ever was a house, if that is, you happen to travel that way and wonder what, like we did, why there's only a marble, a nail, a horseshoe, a piece of plate, a piece of doll, a single rotted, almost gone piece of rope swaying on a black walnut tree limb to tell you there was ever a family here. Only deer and raccoons and squirrels instead of people to tell you there were living creatures each year still. Whether anyone sees or not, whether anyone listens or not, the daffodils come up to trumpet their good news forever and forever. And that, my dear friends, is the end. And that is the story of Homeplace. And you know, every story, every home has a story. So if you ever ride by Tejan Avenue in Inglewood, New Jersey, in the middle of the block, there's a beige house. It doesn't look like a house with a lot of love there now, but there's a lot of love that went on in that house. That's the house I grew up in. There's a story there. And every home has a story, and every person has a story to tell, and every story is valuable. And keep in mind, your story has value and merit. And while you're home, write it down. Write down your story so there's somebody that will continue after you're no longer here, can read and know your story. So with that said, hi, Aunt Carol. Hi, Catherine. Hi, June. And yes, sometimes all that's left is a chimney or flowers that come up. I know in my house in Inglewood, I had a 7-year perennial garden. So even though the house doesn't look loved, I know those lilies and Song of Solomon seal and different flowers are coming up every year. So life continues, and so shall we. So with that said, I hope everyone has a blessed day and a blessed week. And I will see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 5 o'clock on Facebook Live. In the meantime, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story, and everyone be well. Peace.